We're back. Yes, Congleton Radio is back at Congleton Museum. And what have we got for our listeners today, Anna?
So today I'm going to be talking about the Roman coin hoards which we have on display in the museum, which are in these cabinets here and just over there as well.
So these coins, are they worth a lot of money?
Well, that depends. Are you talking about the value of the coin? Are they rare and is that why they're valuable? Or is it because they're made out of precious materials?
Well, I'll start off by saying, is it, the materials, are they precious?
Yes and no. So Roman coins, they're usually made up of a mixture of metals. As you can see here, they look very different. Some are a mixture of copper and they have a sort of green tint to them. You can also get a mixture of maybe brass and silver as well.
Well, you hear about when people find these coins and they say that they're worth something like 3 million and stuff like that. Well, these aren't worth that much, are they?
No, not really. Like I said, it depends on the value and what they were used for. We do have a coin hoard called the Peaver Hoard. That's not currently on display because there are 6,000 coins in that hoard. And what we're doing at the minute is we're cataloguing them individually, which has taken over a year so far and we're not done yet. And those coins, they're very similar. So they're very green because mostly made of copper, and they're all the same size, and there are chunks of them which all have the same emperors on, so they were used around the same period of time, and they were all found in one rather large pot, and we think they were actually maybe used to pay soldiers' wages in the Roman period.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'm looking at the coins now and you think the history that's here, it's mind-blowing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think what's most interesting is that we have 4 Roman coin hoards in Congleton Museum, and they're all very different as well, but they're all found not directly in Congleton, but they're all found just on the outskirts of Congleton, and I think that's absolutely amazing. It shows that there was such a dense Roman history in Congleton, and the Romans passed through here, and we, not part of the hoard, but we do have on display in another cabinet over there what's called the Sandbach ring, and that's a gold ring with blue glass, and that's very precious, and that was found in Sandbach, named after what it's called, and it's perfect. It's in pristine condition. It's absolutely stunning, and that is valuable, and that was found so close to us, and I just think that's amazing that we've managed to preserve something in the ground for that long and it looks like it was made yesterday. But what we would love to know is where that was made. Was it made in Congleton? It's made of gold. Is that gold Welsh gold? And if we knew that, then we could start looking at other objects found in the area, and were they also made of Welsh gold? And then we start to create this story then of was there a particular person in Wales selling gold to Romans, and then Romans were bringing that gold to Congleton to make these beautiful jewellery pieces. So whilst we have lots of objects on display, sometimes we don't know much about that individual object, but we can start to paint a picture of how it was made, who made it, how long ago, and why is it so perfectly preserved.
It's almost like you're being a detective and like piecing things together.
That is what you have to do when you're a historian or you work in a museum. You don't have all the facts. You have to look at what was around at the time, what were other people doing, what was normal at that period of time, and try and piece together what could be facts to create a story and a narrative. Because at the end of the day, you could see loads of Roman coins, loads of Roman jewellery, and it doesn't mean anything to you. But if you can imagine a young woman wearing that beautifully made golden ring with blue glass, who gave that to her? Again, it's beautifully preserved. You must have a look at it. Did she keep that in somewhere special, and was it the casing that it was in? Is that why it's so perfectly preserved? Was it purposely buried? Why was it left in the ground? So yeah.
See, I'm waiting for the answers. You've got me. This is a real cliffhanger. When are we going to get these answers? Well, I don't suppose we ever will we?
It's possible that we could know the answers in the future. So with the Sandbach ring, for example, we would need funding to find that information out. What they would do is they would take a tiny amount of gold from the ring, not noticeable, and they would then go off and do some research in a lab to see where that gold came from. And same with the coins as well. coins like nowadays, you know, it's not like one person would have this coin hoard and carry that around with them, you know, and all these coins belong to one person. You know, if you think about, you have change in your pocket, how many people has that change passed through? So many thousands, millions of people, and it would have been the same during the Roman period as well. There's mixture of coins, different materials, different emperors, different places. You know, the Roman Empire was huge. You know, these could have been in other countries before they came to Britain. So I think that's what's really fascinating about them. They might have been found in Congleton, but they're definitely not from Congleton.
Yeah, like you say, I mean, it's how far have these coins travelled?
That is the question.
I'm putting you on the spot there.
From Rome. No, they could have been, you know, they could have been made in another country and then brought over here. They could have been made in this country. Romans, just like many other empires, they use the materials that are around them most of the time. So yes, some of them may have been made over here, but others may have been made elsewhere and then brought over here for trade and other purposes. But I do think it's really important to just note how different they are, especially the Malpass hoard here looks vastly different to the others. The Malpass hoard, I actually saw recently in an online article that very similar coins have been found in North Wales, and they look identical to the ones that we have in our collection.
Do you know where they got the name from, the Malpass hoard?
Do you hazard a guess?
Could it be Malpass?
Yes. Yeah, so it's just traditional to name a hoard after where it was found. So we have the Malpass hoard on display, we have the Knutsford hoard on display, and the Knutsford hoard consists of some brooches as well as the pot which they were found in, and a couple of rings. And then in the far corner we have the Poole hoard, also named after Poole. And then not on display we have the Peaver hoard. Now that's one that the museum recently purchased, and that's the one that contains over 6,000 coins.
So basically, for the most part, people can come down to Congleton Museum, and it's open how many days? What are the times?
So we're open 6 days a week, so 10:30 a.m. till 4:15 in the afternoon from Tuesday through to Saturday, and then on Sunday we open at 12 p.m. up until 4:15.
So basically, anyone can come down and see this hoard of coins and everything else in the museum.
Yes, definitely come on down, and if you bring in any little ones with you, we also have a coin activity as well, just placed next to the coins where you can, it's almost like a quiz, you can try and find the coins in the quiz, because all of them have different sort of impressions on them. Some of them have animals, some of them you can see the emperors, some of them have like camels, eagles, things like that, so that's fun to do as well.
So people need to come down and they can meet Anna, because you're here most of the time, aren't you, Anna?
Yes.
You can meet Anna, Congleton Radio's history expert.